They make fish fabulous. They complement a curry. You can put them on your pizza and they liven up a leg of lamb. What are we talking about today? Well, we are talking about herbs. And I'm going to show you, and you're going to plant along with me, just a little mini herb garden today with all the herbs that you use in your cooking. So each one's going to be very specific to you, depending on what you like to eat and how you like to season your food. So whether that's from making parsley sauce for your fish or using chives in a potato salad, use today what you're going to use, plant today what you're going to use for your food. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop you down. I'm going to share with you some money saving tips along the way as well, how you can get free plants for your herb pot and how you can also save money on them as well. So let me pop you down and we'll get started. So let's talk about the herbs themselves first off. So I've got an array of different herbs here. So to save a little bit of money, you can buy your herbs from the supermarket. You can often see them, the living herbs. Now, what you might do, you might pop that on your windowsill, take a few bits, and then most likely they will die. However, if you take them straight out of the packet, give them a really good water, and then pop them into your herb garden, they will last and last again. And they're something you can like cut and come again. So as you cut some more will keep growing, and that should last you sort of a good couple of months really. So this one's parsley, one of our annual herbs. So that's how you can save a little bit of money time rather than going to a nursery. Obviously our local nurseries are great as well. Car boot sales, you often find that people are selling herbs at car boot sales. So these ones actually cost me about 75p each, and as I said, as long as you take them out of the packets, give them a good water, pop them up in new soil, that they'll last for ages. So these are our annual ones. I've also got here some chives. Now these are a perennial one. These will come up every year, so if you get these, then that's going to last you season upon season upon season. So that's those chives. But you could also get some plants for free. So in your garden, you might already have some mint, maybe a rosemary bush, or maybe some of your friends do. So I went to my allotment this morning and I spoke very nicely to my allotment neighbour, and she gave me some mint with a root, which is what you're going to need, and also some rosemary. Another way you can, and I'm going to show you how you can turn these into little plants themselves, and then you could use them in your mini herb garden. Another way you can do it is just good old-fashioned seeds, but if you're a little bit impatient like I can sometimes be, then these are going to take a little while, so you might want to do a mix, so some of these and also some seeds that will keep you going throughout the season. Let's go back to our herbs for free then. So I've got some, as I said, some mint here and some rosemary. And I can actually plant these straight into my pots, or you can plant them into smaller pots and grow them on. I'm going to plant the mint straight into my pot, and then I'm going to show you how to use the rosemary in a smaller pot as well. With the mint, just take a piece that's got a really good root on it. So you can see there, these are quite robust plants. So you can either cut them, but you can also, I don't know if I will be able to rip it, that's how robust they are. Yeah, I'm going to have to cut it. So just got a little chopping board here and a nice sharp knife. And I'm going to cut through. And as long as you've got a really nice root, they will take root. I would give them sort of a few weeks, sort of a couple, 2 to 3 weeks before you start picking from them, just to give them some time to get their roots down. And I'm just going to plant that up. I've got just a container. This is a terracotta one, but you could use any sort of container. You could use a window box, keep it on your windowsill. You can use a dolly tub, just any container really that you can put holes in the bottom so that you've got a bit of drainage. I've just filled it up with multi-purpose compost. I'm going to put a little bit more in. There we go. Just bring that up for you into the middle. There we go, so you can see. And I'm just going to put my mint around the edge. And that's my first herbs in. So mint, great for making up mint sauce for your lamb. So cut it up very, very finely. Mix it with a little bit of vinegar, white vinegar, and some sugar. And you've got a lovely homemade mint sauce. Also great new potatoes. The new potatoes are just starting to come on the allotment now. So I'm using those, using the mint in new potatoes. So I've still got some more of this mint, so let's not waste it. I'm going to put this one as well, good root system. And the smell is just absolutely gorgeous. Put them in your summer drinks as well. Lots of lovely ice. And then a few sprigs of mint on top. So that's one way to get plants for free. Another way, we're going to come back to planting this up with these other herbs, but another way to get plants for free is to use what are called cuttings. So let me just move that on the floor. I'll plant those up later. So I've got some rosemary here. As I was collecting it, I made sure that I kept it in a polythene bag, because what you don't want is all of those drying out, especially on a really hot sunny day like today. And I would suggest cutting it really early in the morning, so all the moisture's still in the plant. Oops, let me move those so they don't fall off the table. There we are. So if you take a large stem or a branch, then you'll see that you've got all of these bits coming off of the branch. And if you just tear them like that and leave just what's called the heel, which is this bit here, they will take root. So I'm just going to take off most of the leaves, quite a few leaves. Just leave a few on because we don't want the plant to keep trying to keep these leaves alive. We want it to go into making up. We want it to use its energy into making up roots. And then just using like a pencil, just at the side of the pot, put your cutting in just below those first sets of leaves, and then you can just carry on taking off. Got a few left on there. And then just placing them around the pot. I've got a few more in this bag. If you don't really have a branch to take the stems off of, then you can cut them. And you're looking to cut them just below a set of the leaves, because that's where all the cells are to make those roots. So I'm going to take off the leaves below. I've got this set of leaves just here. Cut just below, a nice diagonal cut, nice sharp knife. And I'm going to do exactly the same by taking the leaves off. Taking my pencil and putting those in. So if you're watching live today, I'm just going to put these ones in. These ones have got that heel bit on them, so just in case you're thinking, oh, they're not going to root, they should do. So I'm going to put those in as well. While just ask you to pop on and say hello if you're watching live. Always lovely to hear from you. And if you're watching live or on repeat, then do just pop in the comments. Let me know what herbs you love and how you use them as well. Always nice to know. And if you do make up your own mini herb gardens, then please do post photos. We always love to hear from you here on the Virtual Village Hall. Lots more to do. I think this one, that's actually a little bit woody, this bit, so I'm going to cut this one here, just below those leaves. Carry on putting up. A few more leaves off. And this smell is amazing. So I'm just going to put a couple more in the middle, then I'll give it a good water, and if you want you can just put the bag over the top just to keep all that moisture in. And then I'm going to put it somewhere warm, not sort of direct sunlight, but somewhere that's nice and warm so it can start producing those roots. Let's do one more here. And then they do take a little while to root, so don't be too tempted to give them a pull. You'll see if they're working or not, because they'll stay alive and they'll start producing more leaves. And although it takes a long time for one of these plants to get to maturity, but we don't really need that because they're for our mini herb gardens. So these are going to be ideal to put up next year into your mini herb garden. And then any of the leaves that you've taken off, just wash them, dry them out, and you can use them straight away, or you can even dry them just in a very, very cool oven and make your own dried rosemary. So don't let those go to waste. Okay, right, let's move those all to one side. So we've spoken about how to get plants for free, how to save a little bit of money on our plants. So let's finish just by planting up our pots with the rest of our herbs. As I said, you can use any type of container for this. You could make just one large one. You might want to have a few different pots around. Any type of container, plastic, terracotta, metal will work as well. Just remember that metal does get really, really hot. And although lots of other herbs that we use are Mediterranean, from the Mediterranean, you don't want them absolutely boiling their roots. So make sure that it's not too much in the sun if you use a nice metal one. Then I've got my basil here, which I love to use with a tomato and mozzarella salad, especially when the tomatoes are homegrown. I'm not quite there yet. Mine are set. My tomatoes are set on the allotment. They're just forming little tomatoes, but they're still very green. They've got a little bit of a way to go. So this one's a little bit root bound, so I'm just going to tease out those roots. And I'm going to just position this. I'm just going to make a little bit of an arrangement. Here are my chives. Let's see a bit better. So I bought the chives actually from a nursery, and they were 3 plants in one. I think that cost me £4.50. So that's not actually too bad per plant. I think I'm going to put those in the middle. There we go, for a nice bit of height. And if you're unsure of the name of the herb, once it goes in, just put a little tag in next to it so you can be reminded. So I've got my parsley here, the basil at the front, chives in the middle, parsley at the side, and then last but not least, coriander, which is, I think it's a little bit Marmite, this one. Some people absolutely love it, some people hate it. I'm definitely in the love category. And then that one can go at the back. Okay, happy with the arrangement. So then either just using your hands or using a trowel, just make some holes. And you want to plant them at the same level as they were in their pots. Now I can smell that basil. Just filling in any gaps as I go. Parsley. This one's a little bit dry. I should have given that a little bit more of a water. So make sure you do give them a good water before they go in. We are going to water as well, but it's good that the roots have already had a good drink. These also make lovely presents, especially if you know someone who really enjoys cooking. Onto the side. And I'm just filling up any holes with the compost. Go. Some of them have fallen over slightly, but once I've given that a really good water, put it outside, they'll definitely come back nice. And I'm just going to put, I've just got a little space here. I'm just going to put a little bit more mint in. Lots of roots on this one. I don't need quite so much. And because this is quite a large plant, I'm actually just going to take it down by about half. Again, so that the plant's concentrating on making roots rather than keeping the plant alive. I can take these roots off as well. It's a very robust plant, is mint. And it's a good idea to keep mint in a pot, because if you already have mint in your garden, cut that on a board, that's safer. If you've already got mint on your garden, then you'll know that it does tend to run. It really spreads. Goodness me. This was from a very, very healthy plant. Make a hole, pop that in. Lovely. And I've got some chive. I've got some flowers coming on my chive plant. So they're beautiful in salads. They just give a really subtle onion flavour in salads. Those are edible. It's always lovely to grow some edible plants as well. Make your food look beautiful as well as taste beautiful. There we go. As I said, it's looking a little floppy, so that I'll just give that a really good water. My watering can, which is over there. Especially want to water those, the mint, because we put those in as bare roots. And then you want to sit this somewhere nice and sunny. And as you pick them, I tend to, rather than pick a whole piece, I will pick just sort of a few leaves from a few plants. That will keep your mini herb garden looking great. and as you pick them as well, they will start to regrow too. As I said, you might want to replenish some with some seeds that you've sown, or just take the plant out, pop another one in when you're ready. So there we have our mini herb garden potted up, ready for a summer of salads and barbecues. So as I said, please do, if you're taking any photos, if you're making any herb gardens up, please do take photos. If you've already got a herb garden, we always love seeing what you're growing as well on the virtual village hall. So please do take a picture, put it in the comments below, and also let us know what herbs you're growing and what you like, how you like to eat them, any recipes. We always love a recipe here on the virtual village hall. So thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure to share that with you. Happy gardening, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.